Hi guys, my name is Paras, the founder of Property Mates, and we are back for another podcast, Behind the Mates, the Property Mates podcast. Today we are speaking to Jordan of Cohen. Hey Jordan, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All good, yeah, thanks Jordan. And we have been wanting to have Cohen Handler here, and we are finally talking to you guys. We have been part of Cohen Handler for about 7 to 8 years now, so that's amazing. Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time for sure.
Yeah, that's good. And we are really excited to have you here. So let's get started. If you can please tell us something about yourself, Cohen Handler, and what you guys do in general.
Yeah, for sure. Cohen Handler are buyers agents. We help buyers in the market purchase properties of a real myriad of different classes. So you've got investment properties, people's homes that they're going to live in, commercial properties for investments, or commercial properties to run their own businesses out of. And a really exciting and large part of our business is development sites for both residential and commercial developers, but identifying those sites, especially at the moment with building costs, it's been really hard for buyers to identify development sites that stack. So we're doing a lot of that work at the moment.
That's good. You have a vast portfolio of commercial as well as residential and the development side. That's good to know. And moving forward, can you tell us how you can help people in their buying or selling journey, especially in today's time?
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing is access. We can provide a buyer with more access than any other individual or business to more properties, primarily off-market properties. I know a lot of buyers agents harp on about off-market properties, but it's genuinely an advantage for any buyer if they've got access to that type of property. To give an example, 80% of what we buy is off-market. It varies each month. Sometimes it's 84, sometimes it's 78%, but generally around 80% of what we're buying is off-market. So that's giving our clients access to properties, A, that they're not going to see by themselves or have access to by themselves, and B, gives them a massive competitive advantage when negotiating, because the agent or the seller's agent's job is to create competition. And they do that through realestate.com advertising, through newspaper advertising, through Instagram advertising, and through the open homes. And they get a select group of buyers in a room together and auction the property. In the off-market space, they don't have the opportunity to do that. So the buyer, of course, has a competitive advantage.
Yeah, that's right. Especially after hearing all this procedure about the auction thing, and like sometimes people get like, okay, I'm not interested, but yeah, you guys as that property advantage, giving that access is something very, very useful. And and what are your tips for people that are looking for buyers agents just like yours?
Yeah, I think it's important that your buyer's agent has a really strong track record in your area that you're buying. So I think it's important that you ask them, how many properties have you bought in my area recently? Why is that an important question? So that you can qualify that buyer's agent has a really strong existing network in that area, A, to source the properties for you, and B, to gain insider information when negotiating. I think it's really important. So I think it's a really simple question that any prospective client could ask their prospective buyer's agent is, what properties have you bought in my area recently?
Spot.
Ensuring the buyer's agent specializes in that area. They're not a Paddington buyer's agent. They're going to try and buy for you in Hawthorne, in Brisbane, for instance, which are two suburbs that are, very spread apart from each other.
That's a really important question, because if a buyer's agent is having a strong portfolio in any particular suburb, that's a strong position point, and definitely guys like you can help them.
Yeah, exactly. In terms of sourcing, I mentioned earlier that we have a large percentage of our properties off market. Your listeners can also access off market properties. Maybe not at the scale that we do, however, they can still access them. I think it's really important to build a good relationship with sellers agents in their area. Keep in contact with them. Don't be afraid when the agent calls you. Actually, be happy to speak to them and form a relationship with them. That's how you're going to gain more off-market opportunities than some of the other individual buyers in the market.
That's totally right. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I think so. But when it comes to negotiation, I think information is your power, nothing else. It's not being a good poker face. Everyone knows how to stand still and not do anything. It's gaining information, asking lots of questions. It's understanding how many other offers have been made. How long has the property been on the market? When is the seller expecting to make a decision? Before making an offer prior to auction, which I'd always recommend to a buyer, get an understanding from the agent if this seller will sell before auction. Because if the seller won't sell before auction and you go ahead and make an offer anyway, all you're doing is giving them information, but you're not going to get anything back. But thank you so much for your offer. Please attend our auction.
So yeah, you're right.
So that would be some negotiation tips for them also.
Coming to an end, Jordan, do you have any special offers for all our users and audience today?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to offer all your listeners and users a free consultation for their property search. Even if they're not necessarily ready to buy this year or even next year, just a consultation around buying property, whether it's an investment property or it's their own home or they're trying to get into development sites. We'd love to offer them that initial consultation, help map out a plan. And of course, if they are ready to buy, give them a greater understanding of how we help our clients.
Perfect. I think that's a very good knowledge session a person can get, all our users can get from you. Thank you for that. Yeah, that was really awesome, Jordan. Thank you for your time. If you want to get in contact with Jordan and Cohen Handler, just click the link below and they can definitely help. And before we go, show some love for your favorite podcast by leaving us a like or follow on our social media accounts. Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks for having me.